for knowledge. You think there is no interaction between scholars and community? Is it like this?
Yes, there is an interaction, but that's a very feeble one. On one hand, we don't have that many scholars, available. There are no think tanks and things like that. In isolation, we are doing many things. But the time is changing. Time is not sleeping underneath our feet. It's live, it's changing, it's going on a pace. So we have to be very careful that we must respond to the time. And it is absolutely essential and necessary that we think over it, we communicate. We must not be in isolation. This is the era of collaboration. So we should collaborate. Say for example, it may be easier at the beginning that all the Islamic Ummah, those who have got resources, those who have got little resources, they interact and they help each other, and they will develop the system for education and knowledge.
Exactly. And my dear friends, I believe you're enjoying with this discussion, and it is going on. We will be having some other output and input, because you are there and our scholars here, and we'll be discussing and we'll be thinking about this. But have to go for a short break. We'll be coming back soon. Please stay with us. Welcome back in our program Islam in the Contemporary World, and we are discussing about education. Either it is Islamic or contemporary, the modern education, science, arts and technology, and other sort of information. Professor Dr. Qaiser, what kind of education Islam suggests and the contemporary requirement is for that? You think that there is lack of training, lack of communication among Muslim countries, and interaction of Muslim countries with non-Muslim countries? What do you see, and what is your observation for this?
Yes, there is a lack of training, there is a lack of communication, and there is a lack of interaction between the Islamic Ummah and the Western world, and the developed countries, what I should say. And if there is any communication, this communication is not very strong, it's quite feeble. So I suggest that there should be interaction among the Muslim Ummah first, number one, and number two, there should be interaction with the developed world as well. Because nowadays, it's the age of the collaboration. You cannot live in isolation. You cannot do the research, for example, in isolations. So that research should be published, and it should be communicated to everybody. And then if there are some shortcomings in that research also, that should be known to the persons. So what I suggest, that should be a strong collaboration and a strong interaction among the Muslim Ummah as well as among the developed world.
What kind of research is needed by Muslim community?
That type of the research which can attack, which can solve the problems of the humanity, which can solve the problems of the society. I mean, there are two types of the research. One type of the research is the applied research from this, for the betterment of the society, and the other is the basic research. So both these research, they go side by side. So what I suggest, that the research should be applied for the betterment of the society, for the development of the communities, for the development of the country.
So you mean like theory and practice should go all together, and there must be a meaningful research, not to waste the resources of Muslim Ummah for some other stuff. It should be proper, target-oriented, and for the promotion of youth. Dr. Pirzada, Qasim Sahab, I would like to ask you one question. What is the importance of youth education and their training?
Well, obviously the youth, they are the future of any country, of any society. So they are actually engaged in education and learning. And at the moment, it is very important that with the pace of time, the knowledge is changed, and so many modern systems, modern concepts are available. All those concepts should be the part of the curriculum of the different universities, colleges, schools, whatever it is. And on that very basis, we should learn more and more and train our people to be more productive and interactive in the global society. So I particularly feel that the systems which Dr. Qaiser suggested, that amongst the Muslim Ummah we must have interaction. Now that interaction could be that, for instance, if one country like Pakistan, if we excel in some of the technologies and some of the special areas of the new science and technology, so we must make it available to those brother countries, Islamic countries, so they can have all the facilities and learn and train themselves over there. And in turn, if the other countries, they have got some specialization area, so we go there, and learn something. So we will be sharing our experiences, we will be sharing our resources with each other, learning and doing better for the community and the whole world.
It's a basic question, and I think that our youngsters or youth, they are familiar with the names of artists, singers, even players, but they don't know who are researchers, who are promoters of education and promoters of their future. Maybe they have not been given opportunity to know about that, or maybe there is lack of communication between scholars and our youngsters, or some other reasons. Do you think like this?
Yes, and there's maybe the several reasons. One of them is the lack of communications between the scholars and the youths. And number two, I mean, there is no advertisement or propaganda, or even on our the media as well. I mean, if there is a cricket match going on, it will be on air for the whole day, or even if the 5-day match will be
maybe whole life.
Or whole life.
Yeah.
But there are no programs about the life of the scholars, about their work, about their contribution. Number two, there is another weakness, this of our syllabi and the curricula. We have not included their work.
Yeah. So how can we fill this gap?
I think we should use the media, number one, and number two, we should publish them, and in a simple and very clear and lucid language, so that the youth can understand. We should tell the importance of the research. We should publish their work and their life histories, etc., so that I think they will be able to understand, and we should include their work in their syllabi as well.
So, sir, Professor Dr. Pirzada, Qasim Raza Siddiqui sahab, you have a great experience in education, and I believe that you might have observed that our universities, not only in Pakistan, or higher education of Pakistan, I'm talking of this because this is very small world in Pakistan. Go out from here and you might have observed that all these Muslim educational institutions, although they are trying their level best to promote education, but where is fault and what is major reason of our weakness?
Well, definitely we didn't provide for our youth, the educational facilities in Islamic world and Muslim Ummah. But simultaneously, if you look at very carefully, you will find that there are success stories.
Yeah.
For instance, if some country is spending, for instance, 1% of the total GDP for education, what can you expect from them? But we have seen that those who have learned by experience that they have a lack of education or problems with the education, they have to systematize everything, they have to put more emphasis on that, and when they started doing that, there was a great success. Like I can quote like Malaysia. They are basic education institutions, they are higher education institutions, they are all flourishing and doing very good.
Malaysia is a great success and it is a successful story. We'll be talking about Malaysia and rest of the Muslim world and also non-Muslim world, but after a short break. Please stay with us.